英国时间3月9号下午6点 ，Confucius Institute for Business London 在 LSE 开展了一次讲座。讲座的主题是 The Past: A New Way to Think About。这次讲座邀请到了哈佛大学中国历史教授 Micheal Puett。Puett 教授曾任教于多所世界知名大学，其中国哲学课程是哈佛大学最受欢迎的课程之一。其本人在2013年获得过哈佛大学最佳教授奖。本次讲座的主题也是教授的最新出版作品的名称。The Past 是教授的第一部商业出版作品，发行之后一直居于 Sunday Times 畅销书榜单当中。他的课程《中国古典道德与政治理论》是哈佛大学第3受欢迎的课程。讲座结束后，英国侨报的记者采访到了 Puett 教授本人和参与讲座的一些同学。下面是我们的采访内容。
So at the time when I was in high school, America sadly was not teaching about the rest of the world, so I wasn't learning about China in the classroom. And so on my own, I decided I should start reading about the rest of the world. And for reasons I couldn't understand at the time or couldn't put my finger on at the time, when I started reading materials from China, I just found it incredibly exciting. And I wanted to read more and understand more, and eventually this meant I wanted to go to China, learn the languages, and it's just become something I've loved doing. I find the most fascinating at the moment the Warring States period and the Qin Han periods. The Warring States period just because it's when you have such a fluorescence of philosophical and religious movements that are so fascinating. And then the Qin early Han is so exciting because it's the first attempt to really build a unified empire, and all the debates about how one does this, how one builds a successful state.
It's a nice combination of the Chinese culture and its application to the Western world. I was confirmed by my views on solving everyday problems, improving my life overall, and I felt that Professor really offered enough examples to illustrate his theory.
Well, I study philosophy, and this was something new even for me. This is not something that normal philosophy students actually get to, or study Chinese philosophy. And it's quite eye-opening. It's very different to the Western and European philosophies. And it's something you can actually use in your daily lives.
So in Chinese culture, I actually have lived in China before, so I've studied there for 6 months before, and I found it quite fascinating because at the university I had an opportunity to go for an exchange, and I think China is just so much different to the West because it's obviously developed very quickly, and the society changed quite significantly, after Mao and how China opened up economically, etc. So that's why I was quite curious about how things are getting done on the other side of the world compared to the West.
Where I'm from, I was born in Latin America. We're such a relatively young part of the world compared to cultures like countries in China, India, even North Africa that are millennial cultures. And so I was interested in this event because I don't know much about the culture. I don't know much about the philosophy of Confucius, other than what we've been taught in school, which is frankly very limited. And so I was just very curious to see how the professor proposes to apply that millennial philosophy to the modern world. I had a small sense of it. I don't think he touched on that subject quite a lot, but now it's left me with the desire to investigate more.
Explore by
to
yourself.
explore by myself. Yeah.